Hey guys, I'm here with my friend Christine.
Hi.
Who has her own channel that you can check out right here if you haven't seen it already. You might have though, because have we made a video? You've been on my channel before. She's been in a DV Presents, which you can also see here.
It's scary.
She was a nurse in my DV Presents. And yeah, and she has a real ghost story for us.
Okay. I moved out here and a good friend of mine, his girlfriend, were gonna get a house to rent. And there was a garage in the back, so we thought that would be a really good place to have like a guest house. So we moved in together, so it was the three of us, and it was a guy and a girl, and then I lived in the back. We basically were there, I would say about 2 years, and about 3 months in, I started noticing things going on at night, and it was really freaky because it kind of sounds weird, but this stuff was happening. I would be sleeping and I would feel like my hands were completely like pinned down and almost like I couldn't breathe, like I was getting suffocated. And you know, when you're sleeping and you wake up like that, it's really scary because you don't know what's going on and you're wondering like, am I just like stopping breathing in the middle of the night? Or, you know, you kind of come up with all these things that it could be. So as time went on, I was convincing myself it must have been something I was doing.
Like a physical problem? Or
yeah, like I thought it must be me because it was so strong. It literally felt like if I was to hold you down and then kind of like cover your mouth with a pillow or whatever it is, and you would wake up and you couldn't breathe. There were times I remember just being like, you know, like desperately trying to get air. And that was going on for a little while. So I went and told my roommates.
First.
Yeah, that was like the first. And then things started to happen to other people. And that's when I realized like there's definitely something going on in this house. And we all were kind of freaked out by it. A girlfriend of mine came in from out of town, her and her husband, and she went in one of the bedrooms, and this was inside the house, and took a nap, and she felt what she thought was a cat like leaning against her in the bed. Like she felt like the warmth, and then she felt like little feet kind of crawl along her leg, which felt like a cat. And she came out of the room, she realized she woke up and there was no one in there, the door was closed, we didn't have a cat. And she came out of the room and we were all sitting in the living room, and she was like, was somebody in the bedroom? And we were like, no. And she's like, I swear I just thought I felt like a cat in the bedroom. So after that, I had another friend come in town, and again, we're sitting in the living room. That was always, you know, the focal point where everybody kind of would come and gather. And she walked through the doorway and was standing in the living room talking to us, and just like I'm talking to you, and all of a sudden she just kind of turned her head really quick, and she said that she heard what sounded like an old like 50s radio. Now,
music or
like you know when people they were talking, like it used to be
like talk radio.
Yeah, but it was like almost like muffled. It was like that weird, because they were talking in those what do they call it, like those weird microphones. And so she was really startled. She had tears in her eyes. She was just like, you guys didn't hear that? Then after that, my sister came to stay. My sister is the most she would never believe in stuff like this. She's not that type of person. And she was staying in my little guest house, and I stayed inside. Well, I guess in the middle of the night, she comes running in the house because she's like, I don't want to stay out there. And I was like, what's the matter? And she said she heard a voice whisper softly and say, get out. The guy that I was living with, my friend, he took the inside of a piano. And I don't know if you've ever seen the structure of an inside of a piano. It's really heavy, heavy, heavy metal. Or if it's metal, I'm not sure exactly what the material is. And they had it, and he took it. He had gotten it from somebody, and he thought he could make like a cool art thing with it. So he asked me if he can keep it in the guest house. And he leaned it up. There were stairs. This was so heavy, it took 3 people to move this. I mean, when I tell you heavy, obviously pianos are really heavy. So it was leaning against my stairs, and you would have to yank it for it to really fall down. I was in the guest house, and we had some people over that night. It was a weekend, and I was standing kind of like right by that piano, and it fell, and it fell on me. And I tried to get out of the way, and it fell and it hit my leg. It was really, really bad. Like, I couldn't walk for almost like a month, and I had bruises on my leg.
gosh.
And I have photographs of all this.
How could you stay there after that? How long?
No,
did
I
you
left
live there?
like right after that. That was
Okay.
it.
So, do you know why these things were happening? Like, did you find out the history of the house or anything, or any reason why?
We actually did. We started to inquire about it because all these things had happened to so many people, and we knew it couldn't be coincidence. So we talked to the woman that rented the house to us, and we did find out that her brother died in the house. And that's why she was renting it, because he had passed away. There was a carport in the driveway, and it had these 2 big crates in it, and they had locks on them, and she always asked us never to touch them. So we just assumed they were like, I don't know, whatever they were for this guy or whatever, whoever owned the house before. We didn't really know. And eventually we got into one of them after a while. I don't know how that happened, just kind of opened.
Tisk tisk.
And we had gotten into it, and there were drawings of this guy. He would do self-portraits of himself, looking at himself in the mirror in the guest room, the garage, what was the garage for him. Weirdest, I mean, I'm like thinking of the images. He'd be sitting in a chair, and he would look in the mirror, and then he would draw himself. And there were at least like 15 of these.
So creepy.
Really, really
and when
strange.
you saw them, did you feel like this is who's been bothering us? Like, did you?
Instantly, I just was like, this is, this guy is still here. He doesn't want people here. Whatever reason, he died here.
That's really scary. And
You're gonna sleep good tonight.
But thank you for telling me and everybody this story.
You're welcome.
These stories. And I would like you guys to tell me, do you have an explanation as to why all of these things were happening? Her feeling like she can't breathe when she wakes up, as if somebody's on top of her, like choking you, basically choking her. The cat crawling on her friend, the radio in her friend's ear, the piano piece falling down the stairs, right?
It was just leaning on a staircase and just fell
and then
forward.
it fell forward onto her. Can you explain why any of these things were happening? Because I would like to know. I would like you to prove to me that it wasn't something scary.
And if I feel the same way, if it was, you never really know. But I'm just saying what had happened to us.
Yeah.
So you never know, but it was just coincidental that he had died there, and then we felt it made sense for us.
Let me know what you think. This one, I can't think of anything. To me, I feel like this sounds like real. But if you don't think so, let me know what you think in the comments. Okay, so thank you, Christine.
You're welcome. Thanks. Bye.
He said when he would sleep, the man with the black hat would stand at the foot of his bed and watch him. So he wouldn't sleep in his room. And then my mom had a brass lamp, an old brass lamp, and when she turned it on, he told her that the man with the black hat was in the lamp.